Did you know that after the Second World War, around 14 million Germans were expelled and thousands died? Towards the end of the Second World War, Europe lay in ruins, with millions of lives lost, economies devastated, and a growing thirst for revenge against former enemies. In this context, the Allied powers at the Yalta and Potsdam conferences planned to redraw pre-war borders in order to promote long-term stability and prevent future ethnic conflicts. At Potsdam, it was agreed on the provisional transfer of Germany's eastern territories. East Prussia was divided, with its northern part annexed by the Soviet Union, while the southern part was placed under Polish administration. Some areas of Brandenburg, Silesia, and Pomerania were also transferred to Poland. The conference also acknowledged that it would be necessary to transfer German populations remaining in Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Hungary to Germany, and stipulated that such transfers should be carried out in an orderly and humane manner. These population displacements ultimately affected between 12 and 14 million Germans in Central and Eastern Europe. Although these measures were taken under the argument of ethnic homogenization to prevent future conflicts, they also resulted from vengeful impulses or retrospective acts of ethnic cleansing, where resentment and violence, shaped by the experience of German atrocities, played an important role in many areas. Millions fled out of fear of reprisals, forced to march in inhumane conditions that included hunger, extreme cold, physical violence, looting, and mass rape. After the German capitulation in May 1945, the transfers became better organized, but even so, the high mortality rates hardly decreased. Estimates of the number of victims have evolved in the historiography. A demographic study conducted by the West German government in 1958 estimated around 2 million total deaths, including unclarified cases. However, later revisions reduced this figure to a maximum of 600,000 confirmed deaths, of which at least 400,000 were due to direct causes such as mistreatment or executions, and the remainder to indirect causes. These revisions corrected methodological errors in the 1958 study, which had included, among other things, wartime deaths unrelated to the expulsions. This episode formed part of a wider pattern of population displacement in post-war Europe, included the resettlement of approximately 1.2 million Poles from the eastern territories incorporated into the Soviet Union, the transfer of several 100,000 Ukrainians from post-war Poland to the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic, as well as a range of smaller and contextually distinct population movements involving other ethnic groups in Central and Eastern Europe.